Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about that 2026 is going to be the year that I choose me. Healing was step one, but now I'm becoming more of my dream woman. So, if you've been on this journey with me, you know that the past few years have been about healing, deep healing, emotional regulation, mental strength, and rebuilding my self worth from the inside out. And I'm so grateful, truly, hallelujah, for the woman that I have become in the process. But 2026, yes, 2026 is going to be different. 2026 is the year that is all about me finding my happiness again, about doing the things that generally bring me joy, and about adding layers to becoming my dream woman. Because healing was step one, now it's time to actually live. Last year, I started stepping into my enjoyment, traveling, experiencing new things, allowing myself to feel good. But this year, it's more intentional, more concentrated, more disciplined, but in the right way. Because here's what I realized. There are things that give you momentary pleasure, and there are things that gives you long-term fulfillment. And for me, one of the biggest wake-up calls has been my relationship with food. Yes, the dopamine trap, loving food more than loving yourself. So let's be real. Eating certain foods feels good in the moment. You get that dopamine hit, that hee ha ha feels good for 15, 20 minutes. And you're excited, you're feeling satisfied. And then what? The moments pass, and then you're left with the consequences. For me, I had to admit something very uncomfortable. I was loving the feeling of that food gave me more than I was loving myself at times. And that sounds dramatic, but I know so many women can actually relate to this. We get excited about food. We crave the comfort, we romanticize the indulgence, but the next day we end up feeling inflamed, feeling puffy, disappointed, and then we don't even recognize ourselves. And yet, we tend to repeat it because it's become our normal. And I'm just done with that being my normal. Now, for me personally, I deal with insulin resistance. So when I eat in a way that doesn't serve my body, I see it and feel it almost immediately. Especially in my midsection, oh, my body stores it quickly. I don't metabolize carbs efficiently. And here's what I want to say gently. If you are noticing that you are carrying a lot of weight in your midsection or thighs, I just want to give you a heads up that can sometimes be a sign that you are insulin resistant. Not always, but sometimes. So kind of pay attention to your body with that and see how your body is reacting. Shaming ourselves, you know what? If we turn it around and we actually get curious. What if we started asking ourselves, does my body actually thrive on this? Do I feel energized after I eat? Or do I feel bloated, sleepy, or even out of control? If you eat a carb-heavy meal and you immediately want to sleep, you feel like you could eat everything in the house, or you are painfully bloated, that's information, and that's your body speaking to you. In January, I shifted back to more of a carnivore style way of eating. Not perfectly, not obsessively, but intentionally. I focused on healing my hormones first, and honestly, that part was very necessary. I don't regret it. But now I am tightening up again. It took me about 4 to 5 weeks to fully get into ketosis, where my body has shifted from being a carb burning machine to a fat burning machine. And once I did that, I had more mental clarity. My energy felt more stable. The cravings that I was having definitely reduced to almost nothing. And the way that my body started responding felt good again, right? I didn't feel as tight and as fluffy and all of that. So it felt more aligned with where I want to be. Now, listen, this isn't medical advice. This isn't me telling everyone to go on carnivore, but this is me just sharing my experience. And not everyone thrives on carbs. And our ancestors before mass agriculture primarily ate animal-based foods. Over time, grains became accessible, processed foods became our normal, and now most of us are actually over-consuming things our bodies can't even handle well. If carbs are making you feel amazing, great. That is good for you. But if they are leaving you inflamed, exhausted, or even feeling addicted, it might be time to experiment. And this shift isn't all about being skinny. No, it's about identity. And I am no longer the woman who is going to be controlled by my cravings. I am going to prioritize my long-term peace over my short-term comfort. And I am no longer going to feel disappointed in myself the next day because I ate a certain food or whatnot. So I am becoming the woman who loves herself more than she loves that cheap dopamine, that eats in a way that supports her hormones. She's going to choose discipline because that's what, truly creates the freedom. And she's going to feel good in her body. Because when I look good, I feel good. And when I feel good, I show up better. I show up better for my business, my kids, my future partner, and for my life in general. And, having this carb addiction, right, my whole life, this has been one of my things that has been really hard to have. And I am so glad that I have been able to kind of take back my control by eating more of a high-fat diet and letting the carbs go. As I'm eating more fat, like a high-fat, moderate protein diet, my cravings have disappeared. I'm feeling more regulated and just better balanced. So that's what that carnivore diet is. Basically, it's more of a high fat, moderate protein way of eating. Healing gave me the strength, but now I am building refinements. Joy with standards, pleasure with wisdom, freedom with self-respect. I'm done letting food dictate my emotions. I'm done loving the taste of something more than I love my long-term health. So, I want clear skin, strong midsection, stable hormones, great energy, more confidence, and longevity in my life. And I'm willing to live in alignment to have that. So if this resonated with you, start simple. Ask yourself, what do I keep choosing that feels good for 20 minutes, but costs me 24 hours later? What would it look like to love myself more than that habit? What would my dream woman eat? And how would she move? And then also, how would she care for her body? Because this isn't all about restriction. It's about self-respect. And if you spent the last few years healing, maybe this is the year to elevate too. 2026 is about me being happy, but not the cheap happy, aligned happy, healthy happy, disciplined happy, and joyful and free. So I love you, and I hope this encourages you to take your nutrition and your identity more seriously. You deserve to feel good in your own body. And so don't allow the pressure of the outside world tell you that you are, not living your life or you're not enjoying it or whatnot, because it doesn't feel enjoyable when you're craving, food constantly, and when you're feeling like crap because you're, eating something that's going to give you a 15 minutes happiness. But, the next day or even that night, you're going to regret it because of the way that you're feeling or looking or whatnot. So don't allow the pressure, like I said, to get to you. You got to do with what feels good for you and what you feel is going to be the best for you. So I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.